Oh my gosh! 100 likes on my selfie? Wait, huh? Dude, why didn't you tell me we're on? Hello, class. Young, fine gentlemen, women. Yeah, women. Welcome to Corbin's Corner. Well, today's author will be interviewing H.G. Wells. Round of applause, please. H.G., nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. It is good to meet you. It's good to be here. Hey, is that a Cuban lollipop? Give me that, boy. Like I said, it's good to be here. I bet it is. Can you tell me about yourself? The people want to hear your personal life. Yeah, the personal. I was born in 1866. I was born with poor health. Sorry. My sister died at age 7 from poor health. That poor girl. I had an accident that left me bedridden for weeks. But through that time, I started to read books. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Some by Washington Irving and Charles Dickens. They good authors, you know. Later, when I went to college, I turned towards more of a teacher. I got a scholarship in the Noble School of Science where I learned about chemistry, physics, biology, and astrology. Later, I married my cousin, and then we got divorced. Then I met my sweetheart, this sweet girl called Amy Catherine Robin, also known as Jane. We had 2 sons, and also I had other relationships outside of the marriage. But we ain't gonna speak of those things. What about your career? When I was finishing up my college, I wrote and first published a short story about time travel called The Chroned Argonauts. After that, it was almost like I was hooked. I wrote articles, fictions, non-fictions, essays. I wrote a lot of books. I produced like 3 books per year. It was mind blowing. Politically, I supported socialist ideas enough to run for parliament as a Labour Party candidate, but they didn't really like me that much, so you know, I didn't get in. However, my ideas they liked. My books became movies. They were in films, and this is great. For example, The Invincible Man, also the remake of War of the Worlds. Thanks, water. Is that Kool-Aid? I only drink Kool-Aid. Oh, thanks. Ooh, brain freeze. Hold on. My declining health shaped the prediction of the future without hope. When I did pass away, I was remembered as an author, a historian, a champion of social ideas and political ones too. I was known as the father of futurism, or my favorite, the father of science fiction. Thank you so much, HG. I am so glad that you had this opportunity to share your life with us. Huh? Aren't we? Yeah. Alright, let's begin. So, the book opens with the narrator and his pal looking at Mars through a telescope and seeing that some kind of things are just shooting off from it. And they really, they don't pay too much mind to it. A couple of days later, these cylinders come from the sky. Sorry. And Olively, he discovers the Martians, and so he runs back and shares it with everybody, and everybody comes. They bring their mamas, they bring their daddies, they bring all their family members to come see this thing. They first, want to open up the cylinder and save these people that live in here. But then they discover it's dangerous. And so laser beams is just sparkling out, just shooting out at people. And people going crazy. Henderson, a journalist, and Stent, an astrologer, Rogel, who were there when everybody was there with their mamas and them, And that's it. That's all we know about them. We just know their titles, and then they just died, basically. Narrator's there, and so he escapes. And somehow, I won't tell you how, but he gets separated from his wife. And during that separation, friend with an artilleryman. The artilleryman stay in the house for a couple of days, and then they move on. But then they get separated because of a Martian attack. And so once again, the narrator, who doesn't even have a name throughout the whole story, is alone once again, until he bumps into Akirit, who at first seems crazy, but he's just a coward. The story switches to the narrator's brother. And the narrator's brother, who's in a different town. Martians come and attack that town. And so, he runs off. And he meets Mrs. What's her name again? Mrs. Elphinstone and Miss Elphinstone. They're sister-in-laws. So, he meets them. He saves them from these ragged thieves. And so they become friends. And Mrs. Elphinstone is still searching for her husband. Her husband sent her off. And she's still wanting to be with him. But it's most likely, he's dead. Let's just be real. He's dead. But, however, no one seems to tell her. So anyway, the narrator's brother takes these two women, and as they're moving, they come up against this road where lots of people are just moving. It's like this big exile moving to safety. And at first they don't want to take this road, but however, they have to. It really shows how humans' depravity really got the best of them. A man drops his money on the ground, and so he goes to pick it up, and the wagon comes, smashes over his back, and the narrated brother tries to help him, and as he's trying to pick up the dude who just got ran over, the dude bites his hand, and he's like, ah, and then the dude just gets trampled over again. And so it's like a dog-eat-dog world. And so they make their exile. And so anyway, he moves on to safety. Flashes back. Let's go. Where the narrator and the curate have been stuck in this building uh, because of the gas prevented them from leaving. And the gas is released by the Martians. The Martians created blackness that just this murky blackness that just moved, and it was like poison once you just breathed it in. And so they were stuck there for a couple of days until it went away. And then they were in this house. They went to this house. They broke into this house for food, water, and mostly wine, because they had a wine cellar. But next you know, bam! An alien. I said it. An alien cylinder hits the house, and they're stuck in there for a couple of days. And this is where we find out and discover what these hideous creatures really look like. They have big eyes like cats, and just a mouth. No nose. And they have like tentacles at the bottom. We discover that they're blood-sucking creatures. They feast off human blood. Now the narrator, he fortunately escapes. However, the curator, he doesn't. The narrator once again meets his friend, the artilleryman, and the artilleryman tells him his idea of how to become better than the species that is attacking them, and how he shall destroy them. The narrator was with him, along with him, but then the narrator missed his wife, and so he's like, I have to leave. I have to go find my wife. So, once again, the narrator is by himself. Nobody with him. Excuse me for a second. 5. Give me 5, okay? Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to read you the list of the themes. The themes are foreignness, because of the Martians coming down to attack. Warfare. There's really not much war, but more of a slaughter of the humans. Indeed. Rule of order. Ironically, there was no order, because once the Martians came, everything just went to chaos. I mean, like, you didn't have to worry about buying bread anymore. The grocery store is destroyed, you know? So there was no rule of order. Community was, in the book, it was sometimes broken and then sometimes started up. It was exile. Humans had to leave their homes. Power. Humans discovered they were no longer the top of the food chain. There was something more powerful than them. Foolishness and folly. Both Martians and humans fell into this category, but humans more so. Fear. Probably the biggest thing. Technology and moderation. In this book, it just showed how technology could be advanced. At the end, the aliens, the Martians, were trying to build a flying saucer to leave London and travel around the whole world to destroy it. Fate and free will. And that includes the theme. I'll leave a question. Do the Martians take over the world? Is humanity destroyed? I'm going to let you read, or you can tell me the answer. Class, hear me out. I am so glad that we had this time together in Corbin's Corner. But, unfortunately, our time has expired. Yes, indeed. HD, do you have any more final comments? Thank you. It was very good to be here, and the very idea about War of the Worlds was that to imagine yourself or who you might be as the world goes into a chaos explosion. Will you be the curate who is a coward, or will you be the narrator's brother, considered a hero? Imagine the world around you starts to fall away. Who will you be? Thank you for joining us. Have a great day. Hope you took good notes.